My dear friend, right now, as you hear these words, there are 7.8 billion people in the world waking up, but only a small fraction of them know the secret I'm going to share with you today. And that secret? It can completely transform not just your day, but the entire trajectory of your life. Did you know that the first 20 minutes after waking up determine not only your mood, but also your energy, your mental clarity, and even the kind of people and situations you'll attract into your life? I know, it seems impossible, doesn't it? But 2,500 years ago, when I first walked beneath the Bodhi tree, I discovered something that modern science now confirms. Your morning mind is like wet clay, moldable, receptive, and powerful beyond your imagination. What if I told you there was a simple way, just 5 sentences, that could break the patterns of anxiety, sadness, and mental confusion that imprison you every morning? That could transform that heavy feeling when you wake up into a luminous energy that stays with you all day long. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to reveal not only these 5 sacred phrases, but also the hidden secret behind the 5th phrase, something that very few people know and that could be the turning point you've been waiting for. First of all, I want you to know I see you. I see your silent pain when you open your eyes in the morning and for a few seconds have to remember where you are, who you are, and why you should get up. I see the weight in your chest as reality settles like a cold stone. Let me tell you a story. A man was once walking in the pouring rain. Soaking wet and shivering, he ran for shelter. But wherever he found shelter, the rain followed him. In desperation, he cried out to the sky, "Why does the rain chase me?" And then a soft voice answered, "My son, the rain is not chasing you. You are running in it." How many mornings have you run inside your own inner storm? How many times have you woken up already carrying the weight of yesterday, the worries of tomorrow, and forgotten that in this moment, right now, you have the power to choose whether you will dance in the rain or continue to drown in it? My dear, there is a reason why the ancient masters woke before dawn. It wasn't just for meditation. It was because they knew that the mind, immediately after awakening, is at its purest. It is like a crystal-clear lake before the winds of daily life create ripples on its surface. Imagine your mind is a garden. Overnight, it's as if the soil is prepared. Yesterday's worries have dissolved. Tomorrow's anxieties haven't yet sprouted. You literally have fertile soil to plant whatever seeds you want. But most people, they wake up and immediately sow seeds of haste, stress, and negativity. Answer me honestly. What was the first thing you did today when you woke up? Picked up your cell phone? Thought about your obligations? Or took a sacred moment to intentionally define what your day would be like? Because, you see, every lost morning is a wasted opportunity for transformation. And time? Oh, time doesn't come back, my friend. But today, right now, you can break this cycle. The first sentence that I want you to whisper to yourself, still in bed, before you even open your eyes fully, is this: I am grateful for this new day. There is an old story of a beggar who every morning gave thanks for the hard ground he slept on, for the air he breathed, for the simple fact that he was alive. A king, intrigued, asked, How can you be grateful when you have so little?" The beggar smiled. "My Majesty, I have everything I need to be happy: life, breath, and the chance to start over. Do you, with all your gold, have these three things too?" Gratitude isn't about having a lot. It's about recognizing the miracle of what already exists. When you wake up and your first word is thank you align your energy with the abundance of the universe. It's like tuning your inner radio to the frequency of joy. So tomorrow, before any thoughts of work, problems, or responsibilities, take 3 deep breaths and whisper, "I am grateful for this new day." Feel each word. Don't just think it. Feel the gratitude warming your heart like the first ray of sunshine.
Can you imagine what it would be like to start each day, not with heaviness, but with gratitude? How that would change not only your mood, but the energy you put out into the world? The second sacred phrase that will transform your morning is "I let go of yesterday." And friend, I know this may be the hardest one of all, because carrying the past is like trying to fly with rocks tied to your feet. 2 monks were walking through the forest when they came to a raging river. On the bank, a young woman was crying, unable to cross. The older monk, without hesitation, carried her on his back to the other bank. Hours later, the younger monk, distraught, said, "Master, our order forbids touching women. How could you do this?" The elder smiled softly. "My son, I left that woman on the riverbank. You are still carrying her." How many women do you still carry, my dear? How many hurts from relationships that ended? How many harsh words did you hear years ago? How many mistakes did you make that you refuse to forgive yourself for? They're weighing on your shoulders right now, aren't they? It's time to stop. It's time to wake up to a fundamental truth. The past no longer exists anywhere except in your mind. And you have the power to choose what remains and what dissolves. So every morning, after expressing your gratitude, visualize your breath as a golden river. With each inhale, you bring peace and renewal. With each exhale, visualize your hurts, regrets, and sorrows dissolving like smoke in the wind. Whisper, "I let go of yesterday," and feel the relief taking the place of heaviness. Tell me, what pain are you refusing to let go? What story are you telling yourself that only serves to keep you prisoner? Because you see, while you hold on to what once was, your hands are too busy to receive what is coming. The third sentence that will change your life is, "I am calm and in control of my mind." And now I need to be direct with you, like a loving but firm parent. If you don't master your mind, it will master you. In ancient India, there was a wild elephant that terrorized entire villages. No warrior could stop it. Then came a little mahout, an elephant tamer, who simply sat silently before the raging beast. The elephant charged, but the man remained as still as a mountain. Hours later, the younger monk, distraught, said, "Master, our order forbids touching women. How could you do this?" The elder smiled softly. "My son, I left that woman on the riverbank. You are still carrying her." How many women do you still carry, my dear? How many hurts from relationships that ended? How many harsh words did you hear years ago? How many mistakes did you make that you refuse to forgive yourself for? They're weighing on your shoulders right now, aren't they? It's time to stop. It's time to wake up to a fundamental truth. The past no longer exists anywhere except in your mind. And you have the power to choose what remains and what dissolves. So every morning, after expressing your gratitude, place one hand on your heart and take 3 deep breaths. Feel your breath as an anchor. Declare with conviction, I am calm and in control of my mind. It's not just a statement, it's a command you give to your nervous system. Because life will test you today. Someone will cut you off in traffic, a colleague will say something annoying, problems will arise. But remember, you don't control what happens, but you completely control how you react. And that choice, that sacred choice, is made first in your morning mind. Imagine waking up every day knowing that no matter what comes, you have unshakable inner peace. What would it be like to live knowing that your serenity doesn't depend on circumstances, but on your conscious choice to stay centered? The fourth sentence that will revolutionize your existence is, I will respond with kindness. And let me be clear, kindness is not weakness. Kindness is the most powerful force in the universe. A single drop of water said to the ocean, I am so small, I cannot make a difference. The ocean replied, Dear drop, I am made of millions just like you. Each one has chosen to be part of something bigger. The drop smiled, so my choice to be kind can create waves? The ocean whispered, not just waves, it can create tsunamis of love. How many times today will you have the opportunity to choose between reacting with anger or responding with kindness? How many chances will you have to be the drop that changes the ocean of someone's experience?
There once was a fierce warrior known for his brutal strength in battle. After years of war, he arrived at a temple seeking peace. The eldest monk welcomed him and said, To find peace, you must learn the most difficult art of all. Which one? Asked the warrior. Fight a butterfly, replied the monk. The warrior laughed. That's ridiculous. But when he tried to capture the delicate creature, every sudden movement startled it. He had to become soft, patient, gentle. Hours later, the butterfly landed in his hands. Now you understand, said the monk. True strength lies not in breaking, but in attracting with gentleness. My dear friend, your life is full of butterflies, hurt people disguised as irritation, delicate opportunities disguised as problems, moments of connection disguised as conflict. And when you respond with kindness, you are not just being nice, you are tapping into the most magnetic force in the universe. So every morning, after declaring your mental control, place both hands over your heart and feel it beating. This organ pumps love throughout your body every second. Whisper, I will respond with kindness, and visualize a golden light radiating from your chest, creating a field of loving energy around you. A bitter merchant planted thorn seeds around his house to keep people away. But there was a child who, every day, threw flower seeds over the wall. In time, the flowers grew so abundant that they covered the thorns. The merchant, puzzled, asked the child, Why do you plant flowers where there are only thorns? The child smiled, Because I know that flowers always win, uncle. What kind of seeds have you been planting in your relationships? Thorns of impatience, criticism, and judgment, or flowers of understanding, patience, and love? Because you see, you reap exactly what you sow, and the planting begins in your morning mind. And now we come to the fifth and most powerful of all, the secret I promised to reveal. Everything is temporary. I enjoy this moment. This phrase, my friend, holds the key to total freedom. It is said that King Solomon asked his wise men for a magic ring that would cheer him when he was sad and calm him when he was elated. After months of searching, a humble craftsman brought him a simple ring with the inscription, This too shall pass. Solomon smiled with tears in his eyes. This is the deepest truth in the universe. Watch your breath right now. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You don't try to hold the air in your lungs forever, nor do you expel it all at once. There is a natural rhythm, a dance between having and letting go, between receiving and releasing. All of life works like this. It's a cosmic breath. An ancient mountain watched the seasons pass. In winter, it suffered from the cold and loneliness. In spring, it rejoiced in the flowers. In summer, it took pride in its verdant beauty. In autumn, it grew sad watching the leaves fall. One day, a wise eagle landed on its peak. "Why do you suffer so much?" The mountain replied, "Because the seasons are constantly changing." The eagle smiled. "Dear mountain, don't you see, you are eternal precisely because you allow everything about you to change. Your permanence comes from your acceptance of impermanence." Do you understand the depth of this? When you wake up declaring, "Everything is temporary, I enjoy this moment," you free yourself from both the fear of pain and the attachment to pleasure. You become like the mountain, steady, not despite change, but because of it. Every morning, after declaring your kindness, hold out your hands as if you were holding something precious, because you are. You are holding this unique, unrepeatable, sacred moment. Whisper, "Everything is temporary. I cherish this moment," and feel the liberation that comes from not needing anything to be different than it is. A gardener spent decades creating the most beautiful garden in the kingdom. People came from far and wide to admire it. One day, a storm devastated everything. Visitors expected to find him in despair, but he was smiling, planting new seeds. "How can you be happy?" they asked. "Because," he replied, "I was able to experience the beauty of the previous garden in its entirety precisely because I knew it was temporary. And now I can experience the joy of creating a new one. Impermanence is not my enemy, it is my partner in the dance of life." And you, my dear friend, are you willing to become that wise gardener of your own life? To embrace each moment knowing that it is precious precisely because it will not last forever. Now, my dear fellow traveler, you hold in your hands 5 sacred keys. But one key alone does not open the door to transformation. You must use them in sequence, like a spiritual symphony that awakens your soul every morning. Imagine a master weaver standing at his loom. He has 5 threads of different colors: gold of gratitude, white of liberation, blue of serenity, pink of kindness, and violet of acceptance. Separated, they are just threads, but when masterfully woven together, they create a fabric so beautiful and resilient that it can cover and warm a lifetime. Long ago, in a Mountie monastery, there were 5 sacred bells. Each rang at a different frequency. Alone, they produced beautiful yet simple sounds. But when a young monk learned to ring them in harmony, something magical happened. The vibration created was so powerful that it healed broken hearts and brought instant peace to anyone who heard it. The masters called it the Symphony of Awakening. Your 5 morning affirmations are those 5 bells, my friend. When you recite them in sequence, with full presence and an open heart, you are creating your own symphony of awakening, a vibrational frequency that not only transforms your day, but literally reprograms your nervous system for joy. Let me teach you how to do this in a way that maximizes its transformative power. Upon waking, before opening your eyes, Place one hand on your heart and the other on your abdomen. Take 3 deep breaths, and then recite each affirmation as if it were a sacred prayer. 1. I am grateful for this new day. Feel gratitude warming your chest like golden honey. 2. I let go of yesterday. Visualize each exhale taking away what no longer serves. 3. I am calm and in control of my mind. Feel your presence expanding like a field of peace. 4. I will answer you gently. Imagine loving light radiating from you to the world. 5. Everything is temporary. I enjoy this moment. Embrace this moment as the sacred gift that it is. Before I share with you the final secret, the one that very few people know about the 5th statement, I want to extend a special invitation. If this message is touching your heart, if you feel it was made especially for you, then I have much more wisdom to share. When you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, you're not just following another channel. You're joining a family of awakened souls who have chosen transformation over conformity. Every week, I share ancient teachings adapted to the challenges of modern life, techniques that can break anxiety patterns, heal emotional wounds, and awaken your inner wisdom. A lone traveler struggled up a steep mountain. Exhausted, he almost gave up. But then he met other hikers who had banded together. They shared water, strength, and encouragement. Together, they not only reached the top, but made the journey a celebration. Alone I was weak, said the traveler, but united, we are unstoppable. Sign up now and activate the bell, because your transformation doesn't have to be a lonely journey. We will walk together towards the highest version of who you came to be in this life. And now, as I promised, the secret that can change everything. The 5th statement, everything is temporary, I seize this moment, hides within it a truth that the ancient masters whispered only to the most prepared disciples. Once a mysterious merchant appeared in a town, offering extra time to anyone who could pay. People lined up in huge numbers, wanting to buy more hours, more days, more years. But a poor girl came up and said, "Sir, I have no money, but I can tell you something more valuable." "What?" he asked, puzzled. "I can teach you how to make a second last an eternity." The merchant laughed. "Impossible." The girl smiled. "It's simple. You just have to be completely present in it." The secret is this, my dear. When you truly accept that everything is temporary, you stop living on autopilot. Every moment becomes intense, vibrant, sacred. A conversation with your child becomes a precious memory. A cup of coffee becomes a ceremony of gratitude. And a sunset becomes a silent prayer. A photographer spent years trying to capture the perfect sunset. He had expensive equipment, sophisticated techniques, but something was always missing. One day, his camera broke just at golden hour. Frustrated, he simply sat and watched. For the first time in years, he actually saw the sunset. Tears streamed down his face. "Now I understand," he whispered. "I was so busy trying to capture the beauty that I forgot to experience it."
When you wake up every morning remembering that everything is temporary, I am enjoying this moment, you stop trying to capture life and start living it fully. You become present in a way that transforms every ordinary experience into something extraordinary. Now, let me share something that will make your rational mind completely surrender to this practice. Modern science has discovered that our brain possesses something called neuroplasticity, the ability to literally rewire itself based on our repeated thoughts.
Imagine your brain is like a block of marble, and you are the sculptor. Each thought is a hammer blow on the chisel. If you hammer consistently in the same place, thoughts of gratitude, serenity, kindness, you carve deep channels of joy and peace. But if you hammer randomly, worry here, irritation there, fear elsewhere, you create only a fragmented, shapeless stone. Dr. Richard Davidson, a neuroscientist at the University of Wisconsin, was skeptical about meditation until he conducted a groundbreaking experiment. He placed Tibetan monks who had practiced affirmations and meditation for decades inside MRI machines. What he discovered left him speechless. Their brains literally lit up with activity in areas related to compassion, joy, and peace. It was as if their minds were supercharged with happiness. This means that when you practice your 5 morning affirmations for just 7 days in a row, you are literally rewiring your brain for joy. You are creating neural highways that lead straight to inner peace, while the old roads of anxiety and sadness begin to deteriorate from disuse. I knew a woman who had been suffering from depression for 15 years. Doctors, therapies, medications, nothing completely worked. So she started practicing these 5 affirmations religiously every morning. First day, nothing. Second week, a slight change. Within the first month, her friends started commenting that she looked different. 6 months later, she told me, crying with joy, "It's like I've been born again. I'm the same person, but living in a completely different reality." The question isn't whether it works. Science has already proven it. The question is, do you have the discipline of a Tibetan monk for just 7 days to test it on yourself? Because you see, you don't have to believe me. Your own brain will be living proof of the transformation. Now I'm going to propose something that may seem simple, but that very few people have the courage to do completely. The 7 Sacred Days Challenge. And when I say courage, it's because it requires something that our modern society has forgotten: commitment to oneself. In ancient tribes, when a young man wanted to become a wise warrior, he had to go through the ritual of the 7 risings. For 7 consecutive mornings before dawn, he would climb a sacred mountain and recite his intentions for life. If he failed a single day, he had to start over. It wasn't punishment, it was because they knew that real transformation requires absolute consistency, not sporadic efforts. Here is your sacred protocol for the next 7 days. Day 1 to 2, the awakening. Wake up 10 minutes earlier than usual. Before you pick up your phone or get out of bed, practice your 5 affirmations. Notice mental resistance, it's normal. Days 3 to 4, the purification. You will begin to notice more mental clarity. Affirmations begin to flow naturally. Old thought patterns begin to dissolve. Days 5 to 6, the integration. Your morning energy changes completely. People around you start to notice a difference. You feel an inner power growing. Day 7, the renaissance. You wake up naturally with gratitude. The 5 affirmations have become part of who you are. You are no longer the same person you were 7 days ago. A seed planted today will not become a tree tomorrow, but if you water it with love and consistency, one day you will wake up and realize there is no longer a seed. There is a majestic tree bearing fruit and shade for the entire world. Your 7 days of practice are the daily water that will transform the seed of your potential into the tree of your fulfillment.
A blacksmith had been beating an iron bar for hours. An impatient apprentice asked, "Master, why are you beating it so much? You've already hammered it hundreds of times." The blacksmith smiled. "It's not the 100th blow that bends the iron, young man. So I ask you directly, looking into your eyes through this screen, are you willing to be the blacksmith of your own transformation, to give the necessary hammer blows for 7 consecutive days, knowing that each morning of practice is preparing the moment of your liberation. Because if you are willing, truly willing, then something magical has already begun. Your decision to try is the first step on the journey. Your consistency will be the path, and your transformation will be the inevitable destination. But now I need to be completely honest with you, as an older brother who has already walked this road. There will be obstacles. There will be times when your mind will try to convince you to give up, and if you don't recognize them, they can defeat you before you even realize your strength. As I sat under the Bodhi tree on the night of my enlightenment, it wasn't just heavenly visions that appeared. Mara, the demon of doubt, whispered constantly, "Who do you think you are? People like you don't change. Look at your past failures. You will fail again." Each whisper was like a poisonous arrow straight to the heart of my resolve. Let me prepare you for the 3 obstacles that everyone faces. First, the voice of skepticism, days 1 to 2. She'll say, "That's nonsense. You're wasting your time. Practical people don't do such things." This voice is the echo of all the people who have given up on their dreams and want you to give up on yours too. Second, the inconsistency trap, days 3 to 5. You will wake up late, or forget, or think, "Today I can skip, tomorrow I'll make up for it." This is the cruelest test, because inconsistency kills more dreams than impossibility. Third, the fear of transformation, days 6 to 7. Paradoxically, when you start to truly change, a part of you will be scared. What if I become too different? What if people don't recognize me? Fear of our own light is the last guardian of our prison. A bird spent so long in a cage that when the door finally opened, he refused to fly. "What if I get hurt out there?" he thought. "What if I can't find food? What if I get lost?" Then a wise swallow landed and said, "Dear brother, you can die safely in the cage, or you can live freely in the sky, but you can't have both." The bird took a deep breath, spread his wings, and discovered that he was born to fly. For skepticism, remember that every great transformation in history began with someone being called crazy. Your external critics are merely reflections of your internal fears. For inconsistency, prepare the night before. Leave a piece of paper next to your bed with your 5 affirmations. Make it impossible to forget. For the fear of transformation, embrace it. Say, "Thank you, fear, for showing me that I'm growing." People who don't grow aren't afraid of change. During a terrible storm, a young monk ran to his master in a panic. "Master, the storm will destroy the monastery." The elder smiled serenely. "My son, the storm does not come to destroy. It comes to test whether our foundation is solid. If it crumbles, it is because we needed to build better. If it resists, we will emerge stronger." The next day, the monastery was still standing, but the young monk had become a wise man. I want you to understand something fundamental about how transformation actually happens. It's not like a switch you flip and everything changes instantly. It's like the ocean. It comes in waves, some bigger, some smaller, but always moving. Imagine you're on a beach at dawn, watching the tide come in. The first wave hits just your feet. That's day 1, a small shift in your morning energy. The second wave hits your ankles. Day 2, your mind feels a little clearer. The third wave hits your knees. Day 3, people start to notice something different about you. And so it goes, wave after wave, until you realize you're no longer on the same beach. The landscape of your life has completely changed.
A caterpillar, tired of crawling, asked a butterfly, "How did you fly?" The butterfly replied, First, I had to accept that I was no longer a caterpillar. Then I locked myself in the dark for days, allowing every part of me to fall apart. It was terrifying. I didn't know if I would survive. But when I emerged, I discovered I had lost nothing. I had become everything I was ever meant to be. Wave 1. Awakening, days 1 and 2. You feel a different energy, subtle but real, like the first ray of sunlight breaking through the fog. Wave 2. Purification, days 3 and 4. Old patterns begin to dissolve. You notice that you react differently to situations. It's as if a deep cleansing is taking place in your soul. Wave 3. Expansion, days 5 and 6. Your presence changes. People feel calmer around you. You become a walking field of peace. Wave 4. Integration, days 7 onwards. The 5 affirmations are no longer something you do. They are who you are. You no longer need to remember to be grateful, kind, and present. It has become your nature. Michelangelo was asked how he managed to sculpt David so perfectly. He replied, "David was always there, inside the marble. I simply removed everything that wasn't him." Your 5 morning affirmations are your chisel, my dear friend. They aren't creating a new person. They're revealing who you've always been beneath the layers of conditioning, fear, and pain. What if I told you that the person you will be after these 7 days already exists within you right now? That she is just waiting for you to peel back the layers that hide her. Can you feel her? That version of you that wakes with gratitude, that responds with serenity, that radiates kindness? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you, a week from now, waking naturally with a smile, your mind as clear as a mountain lake, your heart as open as a flower in the sun, your kind words as gentle rain, your powerful presence as an ancient mountain. This person is not an impossible dream. It is your inevitable destiny if you have the courage to walk for 7 days. Namaste. The light in me salutes the light in you.